PTR. Just a little something.
Okay, banana leaf.
You know I love your little
Banana leaf queen.
I am a banana leaf queen.
And this color. Hi everyone, I'm Megan.
And I'm Janine.
And we are the founders of Think Global. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, episode 3. Hey guys, on a serious note, welcome back to episode 3. We are gonna get down to the nitty gritty, baby.
Can you talk about funding?
Yeah, everyone literally always asks us, when they walk into our building, who funded y'all?
Nigga, we did. Yeah, we did. Did you?
But okay, so on this episode, we are going to talk about how we are self-funded and how to fund your business. So you're going to have 3 tres takeaways from this episode, and that is save your coins, apply for a loan, take the risk on yourselves, people, take it, believe in yourself,
have great credit. Try your best to have good credit.
Like number 1. Have good credit.
100%.
Because then you can't stick out a loan.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have good credit.
You can't get credit cards without good credit.
Yeah. So our funding journey has been quite interesting. As most of you probably know, there are a ton of ways to get money. And you can go crowdfunding route, friends and family.
You can go the investor route. We personally chose not to go that route just to start out. But everybody's business is different, so you just have to figure out what works for you.
Right. So, Zoe.
Yeah.
I always love to ask you questions. I kind of like interviewing you. It's fun. Hold on, yeah. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. But so with funding, having good credit, can you just talk a little bit about like what it means to have good credit and how do you achieve good credit, especially in like today's world, coming out of college, not understanding credit. How, if you, let me simplify the question so people, get a concrete answer. So what tips and tricks would you give people to ensure that they are, to ensure that they have good credit?
So, coming out of college.
Or even not out of college.
So just starting off, good credit is kind of like your key to a lot of things, whether it's applying for a credit card, whether it's getting a loan for your car, getting a loan for your house, just for your business. Good credit is just kind of what we're based on in America. That's pretty much how it is. And so some of the tips and tricks that you can succeed in having good credit is start very small. One thing that I personally did out of college, I didn't have any credit cards. My parents made sure that I didn't exceed any money in the bank, that I basically don't use money that you don't have. And so I started building my credit in grad school, which was in 2014, when I started with like a Capital One card. And my friend Kyle, shout out to Kyle, really helped me learn and how to build my credit. So I started with a basic credit limit, and then from there I would make certain purchases, get some points of course, but then be able to pay off those transactions. So I never spent more than I had, just because that's how people can fall into having bad credit. And so some good simple practices is don't spend more than you have, and then work your way up. So you're gonna wanna use more of your credit card so that you can increase your credit limit, and then that will ultimately, for me at least, it helped me achieve a credit score of 750 plus. Working on 785, and 785, I still have a couple loans that are preventing me from getting that like 800 plus, but those things are just super important and what helped us too in obtaining credit for the company.
Right. So my thing, when it came to credit for me, I was not educated on it whatsoever. My first credit card was, I think, my senior year of college. I got a little Capital One card, and it did not go well. So I didn't realize how important credit was because it was never taught to me at all. So going through trying to fund the business and like applying, realizing like, especially with the 50-50 partnership, how important it was for me to also have good credit. Thank God Janine had good credit because I had to work on my credit and am still currently working on my credit. And so, and the thing is like, I would tell people like, obviously you have to take out a credit card, take out a credit card, $1,000 credit line to begin with, use it to pay for your gas, buy your little groceries, but then pay it. Do not exceed it. Don't go buy them shoes. Don't go buy a little MAC lipstick.
Which shout out to Ruby Roo that you have on right now. Yeah, a little sign out.
By the way, MAC, I've been supporting y'all since like age 14. So, and I'm like hitting 30 soon. So, definitely a loyal customer here. But anyway, so back to what I was saying about funding. So definitely get that credit card, but just use it for essential things, your gas, your groceries, medication that you may buy, your soap, your toilet paper, stuff that you constantly or that you have money in the bank for and that you'll pay off when the bill comes in and pay on time. Because when you just dig yourself into a deeper hole like I did, like I'm paying more money to get out of this situation. And it can be annoying.
Right.
But,
and building credit takes time.
It does. You have to have patience.
Yes, and your credit can fall much quicker than it can rise.
Right.
But I read also a lot of articles online. So utilize Google. Google's like our free university for a lot of things. And just realize that, like Megan said, don't spend more than you have. But if you do choose to spend more than you have, because this is where credit can help you, make sure that you know that the money is going to be coming in so that you can then supplement your statement that's coming up, just so that you don't dig yourself in that hole. So that, for both of us, that was a huge learning experience because in order to fund our business, we had to have good credit collectively, and then which enabled us to apply for certain credit cards for the business to get access to certain capital from like Miami Bayside Foundation and get a loan from them. So things like that, overall, your credit, it matters.
It does. And this video, we're probably not going to touch on it, but I definitely want to have a deeper conversation and full transparency about how our partnership works on the funding side that you'll see in a later episode. So stay tuned for that because this whole funding journey, we're learning as we go. And like, you know, regardless, like we want to have a 50-50 partnership, but just know because my credit isn't the best and her credit is great, that on paper it can't always look like that.
Right.
So we'll definitely talk about that in depth, and so you guys just have a full understanding of like how we're making it happen for ourselves.
Yeah.
So on another note, my little interviewee.
Oh my God.
So how do you save money? And can you save money?
Right now,
to fund your business, how do you do that?
Before I was able to do it, right now I'm literally living like paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Just being real. Before I started, like when I was working at my own company, I had a savings account, and I would always take a portion of my money, put it in the savings. Any funds from family, friends I would get, we would put it in the savings account, and from there, that's how we were able to like grow the joy because I would put money in, Megan would put money in. But right now, literally any money that I get will be taken before I even can see it because it's like the money, the business needs money, and while we're making enough money to cover the bills, you always need more capital.
Right, exactly.
So, what about you?
When was the last time I had a savings? I actually know this. That's crazy. The last time I had a savings was in 2016. 2016 was the last time I had a savings. And ever since then, it's been like a little here and there, but now zero. Yeah. Like ever since we acquired this building, it has been, it's paycheck to paycheck. Aside from just, I mean, the whole thing is like, when we talk about self-funding the business, like we're self-funding the entire vision.
Right.
And that is also us looking the part.
Right.
So it's like you're scrapping dollars to get your hair done, your nails done, like all of these things.
Get your clothes, your rent the runway.
Keeping up with your health, feeding your, like, eating good food. It's
yes,
like, that is the whole business. It's everything. And so it's difficult to do it. But I mean, it could definitely be done because there's times where like, how in the world are we doing this? But you figure it out.
You do.
But for now, I mean, and just when when you get into the position of like you're living paycheck to paycheck and you can't save, just know that you'll get out of it.
Yeah.
You just have to work twice as hard. Don't
And
just harp on the fact that you're not
Yeah.
saving, because if you do that, because for us it's like we both have student loans and other debt that we want to pay off, but for us, I'm not going to be stressed out by a $40,000 bill that that they want me to pay $200, $500 on a month. No. Both of us collectively want to write that $40,000 check and buy.
Yeah.
And that is what we're working towards. And like, if you look at it that way, you're not going to let a stupid little $200, $500, $800 bill get in the way. You're going to figure out how to get that thing to zero. Like, look up what resources are out there to help your loan stay in good standings and getting things off of your credit so that you can obtain good credit along the way. Because if you let these high
It's a
bills
risk.
stress you out,
It's a
like,
risk.
you're not going to be able to fund your business. You're
Yeah.
always going to be trying to make money to just get by, and that's not the way we think.
No. Business is a risk. And Mark Cuban at one point had a credit score of like 0. He said people were calling his house 24/7. Joe Gebbia at Airbnb, like they maxed out.
And they
credit
had
cards.
millions of dollars in debt. When not just 100K, not 54, it was millions of dollars in debt.
But it's like,
And they were out of it.
And you work yourself and you just say, look, I know that this is just temporary.
Right.
You just keep the bigger picture. And I think that has helped us keep that self-funding too. It's like right now we're struggling. Cool. It's going to happen. But in moving forward, it's like we know where we're going to be, so we don't let that mentality keep us in the current, if that makes sense. Like,
Right.
we don't dwell on the debt in the current because it's going to get paid off.
Right. So, I mean, in that, going back to episode 2, remember our episodes build on each other. So, it's again mentality. Like, how are you thinking about it? Is this the bit like you need to understand the vision for your life,
Right.
and just keep that same mentality of like, I'm going to get more than $40,000 to pay off this debt. I'm gonna work. $40,000 to me is like
Yeah.
nothing. Here you go, take it, bye. Like,
That's
you
true.
can have it, because what's coming in is much more greater. So you just have to continuously like check in with yourself and just be like, how am I thinking about these things, and not let it get to you, because money is obviously how the world works, and it's inevitable. We all have to figure it out financially. So, but keep your mind strong.
We're
And
gonna
we're gonna break right here.
Yeah, we are gonna break right there. We're on this. You see?
Find your perfect match. Episode 1.
Do you have an idea that you want to accomplish? Do you want to be the best version of yourself? Do you want to start local and then think global? This segment is sponsored by Think Global Workspace, located right here in Miami, Florida. Right here. Next location, right there. Next, there, all over. So if you're in Florida, Miami, Florida at that, join Think Global for only $87 a month.
We're back. How are ya? We just took a little pig sash.
So, obviously, as you saw in our commercials, our outfit is from RTR. So, shout out to RTR again, and Urban Skinner X for having
gonna
us
adjust this.
glow
getter. Hello.
So, I hope you ladies, or viewers, I shouldn't just say ladies, I hope you viewers are really understanding like our journey, and if you have any questions on how to self-fund your business, you can always ask us. So here are some ways to follow us. Look over here, there. I don't know where I'm gonna post this because
Hey, over there.
I do that. Yeah, we'll figure it out, but it's gonna be on the video. You can follow us at Think with a Y.
Because you always remember your why.
Think Global with a Y. Our email address is livelocal@thinkglobal.com, and you can always, if you are local to Miami, stop in, come see us.
Come say hi.
Obviously, after COVID, 19 is over, and we are running back in like normal.
Where we can go out and be cute again.
Yeah.
Without the risk of others getting sick or ourselves getting sick.
So make sure you visit our website, stay updated. But for now, everything is virtual. So we got workshops, we got lives. So make sure you stay tuned. Join our email list on our website. Keep up with us.
Yes.
Show us some love.
And just to recap the things that we've talked about. Number 1, save your point. save your point. Because
At the beginning. Because it's going to be very hard.
It is. Number 2, have great credit, or focus on your credit at least. Focus on your credit. And then number 3, take the risk on yourself. None of this will happen. It won't even make sense if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have that mentality, or if you don't have that perfect match.
Right.
To really take the risk on yourself and make your dreams come true. It's self-funding. It's not as hard as it seems, but it is also very hard as it seems.
Right. You have to have a financial plan. Obviously, don't take out a ton of money and you have no plan for it. No. Take out the money and have a plan for it. Seek guidance from an individual who is financially savvy and understands cash flow projections, but also align yourself with a financial advisor who also believes in your dreams.
Shout out to Stella.
Right, I know.
Stella
She's been amazing.
Our mentor. Stella is our accountant. Stella is our researcher. Stella just does everything, and we really appreciate you, Stella.
Right, she is great. So stay tuned for episode 4 next week. Or no.
Oh.
We're posting videos like every day. So you can literally watch us every single day. Literally. Oh my God.
Literally.
Like watch us every day.
Like you can see me and my chanclas literally every day.
Think global. Think global.
And